Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Front Page on AIM Network, India's definitive media organization and voice on everything AI and technology. Tonight's stories cut across boardrooms, labs, factories, and even government corridors where jobs are being redefined, devices reimagined, networks rebuilt, cities recast, and freedoms questioned. Let's get straight into the headlines for tonight. Accenture's 11,000 layoffs signal a global pivot, alongside companies from SAP to Fever slashing headcount and redirecting billions into AI, forcing Indian IT to prove real AI value or be left behind. Apple's secret Siri overhaul, codenamed Veritas, aims to deliver on-device ChatGPT-style smarts by March 2026, a move analysts say could trigger a $10 to $20 billion iPhone AI supercycle. BSNL will build one of its 5 new pan-India data centers in Guwahati, tying Assam to India's indigenous 4G rollout and creating a key hub for upcoming 5G and 6G services. With 95,948 crore rupees in exports, that is 45.68% of India's total, Chennai has cemented its place as the nation's undisputed smartphone manufacturing powerhouse and the launchpad for India's next electronics revolution. E-safety watchdog asks Microsoft-owned GitHub to assess if it should face under 16 age limits, sparking backlash over government overreach and fears of open source clampdown. Global consulting giant Accenture has just cut 11,000 jobs in 90 days. And it isn't because the business is struggling. CEO Julie Sweet calls it reversing 5 decades of how we work, end quote. Here's the play. Accenture is spending $865 million on a restructuring program to save $1 billion. And every rupee saved is being reinvested into AI and rapid workforce transformation. $5.9 billion in Gen AI bookings, $2.7 billion in AI revenue, 77,000 AI and data specialists, double the count in just 2 years. Sweet's blunt message: we are exiting people on a compressed timeline where reskilling is not viable. End quote. The translation to that: if you can't adapt to AI, you're out, and that too fast. Accenture is not alone. SAP CFO Dominic Assam openly admits, I will be brutal. For the same output, we can afford to have less people, end quote. SAP is already putting 30,000 plus engineers on AI coding tools, chasing the same benchmark set by Google and Microsoft, where 20 to 30% of new code is now AI written. Over in the gig economy, Fever just axed 30% of its staff, weeks after urging employees to embrace AI productivity. First, you train with AI, then AI takes your job. This isn't hype anymore. AI is rewiring the corporate cost structure. From boardrooms to back offices, India, home to the largest Accenture workforce and the backbone of TCS, Infosys, Wipro, HCL Tech, and Tech Mahindra, is already shaking. The Nifty IT index has dropped 7.4% in 6 days, hammered by Accenture's cautious guidance and a shock $100,000 H-1B visa fee hike from the US. Expect what's next. Outcome-based deals that pay for results, not headcount. A premium on AI talent, machine learning op engineers, data governors, agent builders. A scramble to build clean, governed data estates, the real bottleneck to Gen AI scale. Mid-layer job churn as routine roles disappear and AI-first skills command the market. 11,000 jobs gone in just 3 months, which points to Accenture headcount now 779,000, That is $865 million restructuring, which points to $1 billion plus in savings. In turn, points at AI reinvestment. $5.9 billion Gen AI bookings, $2.7 billion AI revenue. SAP, 30K engineers on AI tools aiming for 20 to 30% AI generated code. Fever, 30% workforce cut after AI productivity push. This is not a hiring freeze. It's actually the end of the grow headcount to grow revenue era. Accenture's move is a loud signal. AI isn't just a product, it's a profit model. From consulting pyramids to gig platforms, companies are slashing jobs and pouring cash into AI, betting that machines can scale faster, cheaper, and with fewer humans. For Indian IT, the message is very brutal and clear. Deliver real AI impact or risk being outpaced by the very technology you sell. Clearly, the age of AI is no longer about pilots and proofs of concept. It's actually about survival. Apple is quietly cooking its biggest AI bet in over a decade, and it's hiding in plain sight. Inside Cupertino, a stealth project codenamed Veritas is rewriting Siri from the ground up. Bloomberg first revealed that Apple's own engineers are using Veritas as an internal iPhone app, a kind of secret ChatGPT that nobody outside the company can touch as yet. Back in 2011, Siri launched before ChatGPT or Gemini even existed. But after a decade of cautious updates, Apple watched OpenAI, Google, Gemini, and Anthropic's Claude sprint ahead. Our front page coverage earlier this year chronicled those missteps. Here they are. iOS 18.4 delays, an AI leadership shakeup, and the painful truth that Siri, once the pioneer, had become the punchline. Now, Tim Cook is framing AI as Apple's next iPhone moment. At a rare all hands meeting, he told employees this is as big as the internet or the App Store revolution. End quote. Veritas is the comeback plan. Rolling out with iOS 26.4 in March 2026, the new Siri isn't just smarter, it's actually fundamentally different. Multi-turn conversations that remember context, letting you pick up a chat days later. Personal data search across emails, photos, music, all on device. In-app actions like editing a photo or sending a message driven entirely by voice. This is no incremental update. It's actually a complete reboot of iPhone's most familiar voice. While OpenAI and Google run their models on the cloud, Apple is betting on on-device LLMs through a new framework called Linwood. Internal studies show it actually cuts latency by around 30% and keeps every query, which is emails, photos, and personal notes, locked inside your iPhone. Well, for a company whose brand lives and dies on privacy, this is Apple's ace. And yet, Apple is pragmatic. As we highlighted on front page when reporting on Apple's quiet talks with AI rivals, the company has held discussions with OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google about integrating their models. The result could be a hybrid Siri, Apple's private LLM for speed and privacy, backed by cloud giants for deep reasoning or creative generation. Analysts predict a $10 to $20 billion AI super cycle for iPhone upgrades if Veritas lands on time. But failure would cement Apple's reputation as an AI laggard and risk the next hardware cycle going to competitors. Basically, in a market where smartphone AI will decide who wins the next decade, Apple is effectively betting its $3 trillion empire on getting AI right this time. Apple rarely goes first, we all know that. It goes last and makes the ones who went first, well, look incomplete. From the Mac to the iPhone, its playbook has been to wait, watch rivals stumble, then redefine the category. If Veritas delivers, Siri will leap from, well, forgotten voice helper to the control center of the next iPhone era. And Apple will have turned what many saw as a decade of missed opportunity into its biggest comeback since the iPhone itself. State-run BSNL will build one of its 5 new pan-India data centers in Assam's capital, linking the northeast to India's indigenous 4G and very soon 5G and 6G backbone, and creating a new tech jobs magnet. When Prime Minister Narendra Modi hit the switch on India's first fully indigenous 4G network in Jharsuguda, Odisha, it wasn't just another telecom upgrade. It was a declaration that India has joined an elite club of 5 nations capable of building a complete 4G stack, hardware, software, and optical fiber entirely at home. Joining the launch virtually from Guwahati, Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma revealed the next chapter. BSNL will set up 5 world-class data centers across India, and one of them is coming to Guwahati. Construction has already begun at the state's IT park near Bhorjar Airport, positioning Assam as the Northeast Digital Command Center. Clearly, this is more than just a vanity project. The Guwahati facility will anchor BSNL's indigenous 4G network, designed and built in India, and will be upgradable to 5G very soon and to 6G by 2030. For Assam, it means hundreds of high-skilled jobs and a reason for its brightest engineers to stay home instead of chasing work in Bengaluru or Hyderabad. It also locks the state into the center of India's semiconductor and data revolution. Sarma linked the data center to the Tata Group's Jaggi Road Semiconductor Unit and the new 5G lab at Guwahati University, calling Assam a nerve center of technology, end quote. Well, for a self-reliant India, this bold move comes on the heels of BSNL's own financial rebirth. Front Page previously covered BSNL's stunning comeback from a 849 crore rupees loss to a 280 crore rupees net profit in just 1 year. Its first profit in actually 18 years. Back then, we said BSNL was no longer a relic, but a public sector tech engine. Today's announcement proves that wasn't hyperbole. The company is reinvesting those hard-won gains to power India's digital backbone. Consider the timing. 92,633 new 4G towers are already live. India is now the 5th country in the world with a fully indigenous 4G stack. BSNL's 37,000 crore rupees network upgrade is designed from day one for 5G and 6G readiness. This is actually a playbook straight from the Modi government's Atmanirbhar Bharat doctrine, which is to basically build the core infrastructure at home, then export it. From losing ground in the smartphone era to becoming a profit-making, future-ready digital utility, BSNL is proving that a state-owned telecom giant can be both profitable and pivotal. With Guwahati's data center, the Northeast is no longer a digital periphery. It's actually a frontline hub in India's race to dominate the next generation of telecom and cloud infrastructure. Chennai is quietly powering almost half of India's smartphone exports. Latest data from the Ministry of Commerce and Industry shows that in fiscal year 25, 95,948 crore rupees worth of smartphones, that's 45.68% of India's total 2.1 lakh crore rupees exports, shipped out of Chennai alone. Well, that's almost double the next city, Kolar, on the list, and cements Tamil Nadu's position as the country's undisputed smartphone capital. Over the past decade, Tamil Nadu has executed one of the most disciplined electronics manufacturing playbooks, well, in Asia. Foxconn, Pegatron, and Tata Electronics have turned the Chennai Hosur belt into the iPhone's second home, with 70 to 80% of all iPhone made in India rolling off these lines. Infrastructure and talent. From industrial housing for 18,500 women workers to state-backed skill programs like Nan Muddal One, the state has ensured a very steady, industry-ready workforce. The next aspect, policy alignment. The new Tamil Nadu Electronics Components Manufacturing Scheme is pulling in display, camera module, and battery suppliers, deepening the local value chain beyond simple assembly. This isn't just another outsourcing story, it's actually strategic nation building, a state led model that the rest of India is now studying. Let's actually rewind back to 2014. There were only 26% of phones sold in India which were made locally. Today, 99.2% are made in India, and exports have crossed 1.29 lakh crore rupees, with over 12 lakh jobs created across the electronics supply chain. The shift has been supercharged by this: PLI incentives that reward scale manufacturing, US-China trade tensions, and pandemic-era supply shocks that actually forced global brands to diversify. Apple's strategic pivot, with CEO Tim Cook revealing that a growing share of iPhones sold in the United States will soon be sourced from India. India has moved from being, well, just a backup to becoming a frontline player in the global smartphone supply chain, and Chennai is its launchpad. Kolar in Karnataka now contributes 23.75% of India's smartphone exports, driven by Wistron's iPhone lines near Bengaluru. Delhi NCR follows at 18.74%, powered by Samsung and Lava. But even combined, they barely edge past Tamil Nadu's lead. This southern dominance shows how a single state can out-execute larger regions when policy, talent, and global partnerships align. Right now, India excels at assembling devices, but 80% of high-value iPhone components, which is chips, displays, and modems, still come from China. Apple's India play shows why that gap is starting to close. 45 suppliers have actually already created 3.5 lakh jobs, producing $45 billion worth of iPhones since 2021, with 76% exported. Value add is already at 19%, and what is very, very encouraging, that it is rising. This is India moving beyond assemble and ship towards real electronics manufacturing muscle. Tamil Nadu's new component push and the National Semiconductor Mission aim to capture displays, camera modules, and lithium-ion cells. India's National Semiconductor Mission, backing fabs from Tata Electronics, Micron, and CG Power, aims to make chips onshore. If India pulls this off, Chennai won't just be the iPhone capital, it will be the epicenter of end-to-end electronics innovation. From 2 phone plants in 2014 to 300 and plus today, India has flipped the script. from a phone importer to the world's second largest mobile manufacturer. Chennai stands at the heart of this revolution. 95,948 crore rupees. I just love saying that figure again and again. Worth of smartphone exports in just 1 year. Tens of thousands of new jobs anchored by global giants. A pipeline to move from assembled in India to invented in India. The city's factories are no longer just serving India's billion plus users. They are shipping to the world. The question is no longer if India can compete with China in electronics, it's actually how soon Chennai will define the next global standard. And finally, on front page, for our last story, we wanted to say this, that the governments never actually fail to disappoint when it comes to confusing a keyboard for a crime scene. Yes, are you intrigued? So am I. Let's carry on. Australia's e-safety commissioner has fired off letters to the usual suspects: Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, and GitHub. Yes, the Microsoft-owned site where developers share code and argue about tabs versus spaces. The question on the table: should GitHub be treated like a social network dangerous to kids and forced to block under 16 users when the new rules kick in December 10? Well, the internet's response is this. It is pure roast mode, and this will be a lot of fun, ladies and gentlemen. Here is the first one. There is no hope left for humanity. Some people are so brainwashed, they're comparing GitHub to TikTok, end quote, wrote AI evangelist Ashutosh Srivastava. Another deadpan: I guess kids wanting to learn to code will have to do so from outside Australia, end quote. Others join the fun, like we are. It's detrimental to your health to get addicted to coding, end quote, one quipped. Another warned, and this is fun, if you become a programmer, you might develop vision problems and not be able to, well, see, hashtag. Well, and the classic one: stop coding and go out and touch some grass. Cue the reply: the grass in Australia. Well, complete with photos of spiders the size of laptops. Well, to be fair, GitHub isn't squeaky clean. It hosts malware repos, phishing kits, and the occasional shady script. But calling it a TikTok level threat is like, well, saying a public library is dangerous because someone once scribbled a swear word in a book, as has the head of research at AIM. He's done it in the past. I just wanted to tell you that. Well, moving on. If this feels familiar, that's because it is. Australia has a track record of headline-grabbing internet fixes that don't survive contact without reality. The $90 million child-safe internet filter that kids bypassed within hours. The mandatory metadata retention plan that even ministers couldn't define. And a national broadband network rollout so mismanaged, it became a case study in how not to ship a product. So yes, sending a self-assessment form to Microsoft is technically, well, just due diligence. But it also reeks of the same ban first, understand later instinct that gave us those earlier policy faceplants. Honestly, the real subtext, as always, is control. Open source platforms like GitHub host the very tools, VPNs, encryption libraries, privacy technology that governments struggle to regulate. Looks like the government is trying really hard to restrict people from downloading open source tools and code that might be used to circumvent their own censorship measures. That's the uncomfortable truth. This isn't about protecting children from bad commits. It's actually about politicians trying to wrap their arms around code they don't understand. Australia isn't really worried about a 15 or a 16-year-old stumbling across a JavaScript repo. It's actually worried about a future where teenagers can fork the internet before they can drive. And in classic Canberra fashion, the solution is to label GitHub social media and hope no one notices the logical stack overflow. Finally, when governments confuse GitHub with TikTok, remember, the real bug isn't in the code. It's actually in the policy. Well, that's it on Front Page tonight on AIM Network, India's definitive media organization and voice on everything AI and technology. Front Page is powered by MachineCon 2025, an invite-only residential summit for GCC heads, exclusively brought to you by AIM Network. Right now, don't go anywhere, because after these short messages, we will be back with Debunked, where we unravel the tools, the tech in real time with real takeaways. Till then, you know what to do. Think AI, think AIM.
We are AIM Media House. Born in Nama, Bengaluru. Built for the world. We make tech make sense. We tell stories that matter. This is the era of AI, and we are the ones telling its story. Think AI, think AIM.
And I have seen this place grow from strength to strength. Speakers, the sessions, and the vibe around that.
Love the vibe. Love to see how big it has gotten over the years.
The largest AI conference in India.
Cypher has definitely attained a cult status.
Artificial intelligence. AI. Coexisting. AI.
We are AIM Media House. Born in Nama, Bengaluru. Built for the world. We make tech make sense. We tell stories that matter. This is the era of AI, and we are the ones telling its story. Think AI, think AIM.
And I have seen this place grow from strength to strength. Speakers, the sessions, and the vibe around that.
Love the vibe. Love to see how big it has gotten over the years.
The largest AI conference in India.
Cypher has definitely attained a cult status.
Artificial intelligence. AI. Coexisting. AI.
We are AIM Media House. Born in Nama, Bengaluru. Built for the world. We make tech make sense. We tell stories that matter. This is the era of AI, and we are the ones telling its story. Think AI, think AIM.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Debunked. As promised, my partner in crime, Sachin Tripathi, is with me. But before we get into the entire excited, supercharged intro as far as Sachin is concerned, let me introduce what we are debunking today, Sachin, right? So just be a little patient with me. Go ahead and do your homework if you have to. Well, all right. So, tonight we are debunking WAN 2.5, the audio-video revolution that just crashed the AI video party. The hype, the lip sync magic, and the real cost of one-click Hollywood with sound. And of course, Sachin is going to be taking us through all of this. Well, this is Debunked by AIM Network. Remember, when AI video models gave you gorgeous but eerily silent clips. Yes, sounds like a lot my past relationships. Anyway, that was very disturbing. Those days are gone. WAN 2.5 doesn't just generate video, it builds the visuals from your audio. Why the buzz? Well, that Sachin will shed light on, but let me tell you why. Upload any voice or music, track and get perfectly lip-synced video. How do you know that this is not lip-synced right now? Aha. Well, handles Chinese, English, mixed accents, no choking on dialects. It costs 60%. Yes. That just blew me away. Then Google's VEO3 while outputting higher resolution 1080p and longer 10-second clips. For creators burned by VEO's prices or Sora's waitlist, or generally production budgets, which are down in any case these days, as you can see. It sounds like a big dream upgrade. Meet WAN 2.5. Think of it as WAN 2.2 on steroids, pretty much like Sachin. Plus
not on
a
steroids.
built-in audio director. Audio-driven generation. Well, that's it. I have done whatever I was supposed to. Now that you are on the show, you are supposed to go ahead and pass it on. Over to you, sir. Okay? Yeah, like that.
As to be, thank you so much for being on that. So, something very important that has come up. And Alibaba now, one of the most important things which you said, it is a model that is able to take your audio and convert it into a video.
Okay. Now, before you move on and give a clear understanding of that, I very quickly wanted to ask you, because I caught on something that you said. You said it's a very critical tool in terms of also the time at which it's come.
Yes.
I want you to elaborate on that.
So, see, what happens is that we have got some sort of very big competition between different countries, different research teams, different companies.
Absolutely.
So, Google came up with Nano Banana. It's an image editing tool. We did a debunk. You did a debunk. Abhishek was also there with you. Then VO3, a very powerful video editing tool and video creation.
Being used in broadcast.
And and last year, during 12 days of OpenAI, they released Sora.
Right.
Now, most people don't use or know about it yet, because a lot of things are there in that, which is, so it is a bit.
It's
laggy.
a Sora point.
Yeah, it is actually sleeping.
It's a Sora point.
Sora. Jagega. Aajkal mein.
Also, I was punning on Sore and Sora point.
Yeah. So it is a big sore for OpenAI.
Sure.
So soya hua zakham.
Got it. Can we move on?
Okay. So now this particular model, you see, this year we got something known as WAN 2.2.
Sure.
Which was a big revolution in terms of text to video. We call it as T2V, text to video, or I2V, image to video.
Sure.
So this model actually paved the way in terms of creating proper video just by giving a text prompt or an image prompt. We were already doing it, but then that sort of improvement came when WAN 2.2 came.
Okay.
And it is open source.
And also the fact that it was very important for me to maybe point out here, because of our discussions in the past, etc., the contextual aspect of it, because that was a very, very important upgrade, call it an improvement in a big way, leaps and bounds, which Nano Banana made.
Yeah. So see, what happens is that sort of research, when it comes and people read about it, then obviously there are many people who are working behind the scenes. So if something comes up, we are bound to have some other firm, some other research agency coming up with something more.
Sure.
So this contextual part which you're saying, WAN 2.5 is actually something which has built a huge improvement on this aspect.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So the features, like simple features, like if you watch a video, you can easily understand that it is AI generated.
Yes.
Just by looking at the facial expressions.
Right.
Looking at the lip syncing and all these things.
Right.
Now these things have drastically improved because of WAN 2.5.
Which is a big deal.
So, and see, the one very important thing which I think all of our audience should know. There are two aspects which this WAN model, it covers from 2.2 and then 2.5, which has come now. See, one thing is animation. So you give any video and you can animate it.
Sure.
So your animated cartoon or whatever prompt you're giving, it will follow that nuances, that lip sync, the facial expression and everything.
So that means basically if you're saying that if you give a prompt to a video where you can turn me into a porcupine.
Yes, yes. I can turn you into a porcupine, a giraffe, whatever.
Giraffe would be nice.
Yeah. So he
Since
always
I'm
wanted a long
short
neck.
stature. Yeah. Anyway.
So, anyways, so this is one thing. Second thing is where you can give
I
an
can't
image.
even tell you what my producer just said. Right?
No,
Oh,
we'll
anyway,
talk
sorry.
about it. We'll talk about it later,
Fair.
not in front of the live audience.
Yes.
So, next thing is that you take an image and you take a reference video. So, imagine, Sudhi, we are doing a live stream like this, and this video goes on YouTube.
Sure.
Now, if I take an reference image, for example, of Elvis Presley, and I take this video of you, who is talking about front page, then he is gonna come.
I'm gonna be at Elvis, right?
That sort of editing.
Good evening, ladies and
power
gentlemen.
we have.
My name is Sudhi and we're presenting Front Page.
But one drawback, your voice will be there.
Oh,
Elvis
no.
Presley's face and entire body
That
will
will
be
be
there.
a trauma.
Yeah. But then we are coming up with such upgradations.
We're moving towards
as well.
that,
Yes.
right.
So this is something very important. Just imagine you can create your own avatar. You can create so many things.
Can we use the VOs? I mean, for example, what if I record the VO?
Yeah.
Can that be then used?
Yes.
So if I can do, let's say, like a blues.
Yes. Even if
The worst version of blues. I'm
you-
apologizing.
You think like this. Say, for example, you are a CEO of a company, and now you cannot answer each and everybody's doubts
Sure.
every time, every second. So instead of that, what you come up with, you create your videos, some sort of FAQ videos.
Fair.
Okay, and you can use your image or your HR's image as a reference image,
Nice, interesting.
just to superimpose that on the video.
Can definitely be used when you're firing people.
So a lot of things can be done like that.
Yeah.
So the blame will not come on you, obviously. So these sort of things
No,
are
plus
there.
also you don't have to go
which-
through your own trauma. Anyway.
And see, the most important thing is that quality of the video, that 1080 pixel quality, that is something which is very vital. You know, when Sora first came out the last year, it was only offering 720 pixel and that too 4-second video.
Wow. Now it's 10 seconds and
But
it's 1080.
still, that sort of quality
Is not there.
Yes, it's not there. See, GPT models are very good in text wise operations.
Sure.
But when it comes to Sora, for instance, again,
There is
there is a gap.
Fair
There is a
enough.
big gap.
I think myself and the audience included, if I may say so, are quite stoked because we've gone ahead and we've genuinely warmed up ourselves
Yeah.
to a few examples that you could probably show us because we're genuinely very, very excited.
So just to show, this is the official website.
Sure.
And this model recently came, WAN 22.5. And here, you can give your prompt and you can convert it into a video. You can see text to video.
Sure.
You can also see image to video. Okay, wherein you can put an image, and there are certain examples, so the users can try these examples.
Fair enough.
They're not going blindly into something.
Got it.
Just to understand.
Just like a little hand holding which is happening.
What sort of prompt is best suited for this job?
Got it.
So if they click on, say for example, this image, the prompt will come, and then they can work on it.
Interesting.
Now, one very important thing that this WAN 2.5 is not open source as of now.
Okay.
But in the upcoming days, they will come up with the open source version. Why? Because the entire reputation is on that
on that aspect,
front.
right?
And just for the audience, I wanted to show that if you look at Reddit here, look at all these posts.
Wow.
And these are all latest posts, like 1 day, 2 day, starting from 2 hours.
Let's read
5 hours.
one.
Any, you can go on any. And you see, here you will not find a lot of posts on WAN 2.5.
Yes.
Why is that so? Because it is closed
source. Okay.
So it's not freely available. And another thing which everybody should know, that when you go online, say for example, you go on Hugging Face and you search for WAN model.
Right.
So this entire model card, if you see here, you will not find
You
WAN
cannot
2.5
find 2.5, correct.
because it is closed source.
Sure.
And there is a lot of people online who are actually that release it, because they want to play with it.
Obviously.
Because that sort of cheaper version
As
and
compared to,
that
let's
sort
say,
of audio,
VO3 or
that sort of video quality, that sort of lip syncing, this is something very
which nobody has right now experienced
Yes.
till now.
Now, just to show all of you and obviously you and all of the users. So here, if you go on the website, you can see that they have this audio visual saying richer video dynamics. You can see
these are
how the 1080 pixel FPS quality is increased in that regards. And then obviously your visual reasoning and everything. And just for the audience, I wanted to show that recently they also came up with
Animate.
something known as
Animate.
WAN 2.2 Animate,
Nice.
which is actually coming in WAN 2.5 now also.
Okay.
And I have something very interesting for you. Sudhir.
You've done something. I know you've done something. I can sense it. I can feel it in my bones.
So here,
we say it. Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We say it loud. We
this
say
is
it
a
proud.
video
Cyber
of
2025.
Elon Musk.
Who is this weird freak? Hello and
This
welcome, ladies
guy,
and gentlemen.
You can see, so we have taken one of Sudhir's reel from
Cypher.
Network front page.
Right.
Cypher, yes, this
Cypher.
is from Cypher. And
Cyber
we have
2025.
used Elon Musk.
Wow.
So,
I have possessed Elon Musk.
and now that is what I was coming on to. See the voice.
Yeah.
Your voice is there.
What a wonderful voice.
Yeah, not very important point he has put.
Okay.
Apart from the model and everything, voice is something very important here. Okay, so yes, it is important. It is not there in the model as of now.
Got it.
But so you can take any audio and convert it into video using 2.5.
Clearly, like you've done it. Right.
No, this is from Animate part because it is closed source. But in the upcoming days, when it will be open source, we're going to do a debunk on that extensively.
That would be wonderful.
Where we'll be putting up audio clip and trying to see where it goes.
Okay. So, Sachin, now that you have essentially walked the audience through, an overall overview as far as the site and what all is available, what can be done, let's actually get into what we're here for, which is debunking.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, the first
Yeah.
debunk number 1,
Yeah.
which is 60% cheaper. The claim is yes, but the headline price undercuts VEO3. But factor in the workflow, WAN 2.5 still expects you to prep audio,
Yes.
as you mentioned, and
Yes.
prompts,
Yes.
and basically sometimes upscale in the post, which is, when I say post, I mean
Yes.
edit.
After your video
Edit,
is
yeah,
created.
basically.
Correct.
So if you need instant broadcast ready content with
no.
integrated hosting
Don't go
or
for WAN
enterprise SLAs, you're saying,
the cost will be lower,
okay,
but then you have to look at different aspects. See, the requirement matters.
what is the resolution that it gives
So
in
resolution,
terms of the output?
in terms of
I'm not
output,
talking about resolving an
see,
issue.
It all comes down to your requirements, Sudhir.
Okay,
So if you want a very high quality video,
correct.
then obviously it means you need to invest more amount of time.
Sure.
Now WAN 2.5, when you're putting your prompts, your audio, these all things have to be very clearly justified as to what you're looking at.
Got it.
So it's not something where you experiment and right away you give the video. So that sort of thing, wherever you need a proper live telecast or a very
Broadcast
real-time
ready
broadcast ready, then in that scenario, as of now, little bit lacking
As compared to a VEO3.
as compared to VO3. But if you look at the overall cost, it is cheaper.
But as we had mentioned very categorically,
Requirement.
that the hidden cost is there.
Yeah, hidden cost and all is very important. See, it all comes down to a requirement. That is what I'm saying.
Sure. Okay.
So what sort of are you going to create a
very
video for a
quickly.
live broadcast?
Very quickly,
That sort
if
of
you
thing.
were to look at, you mentioned requirement. So how would you, let's say you were using it, WAN 2.5, what requirement would you use it for? Vis-a-vis you using VO3, what would you use it?
See, if I'm going with audio to video,
Uh-huh.
WAN 2.5 will be the first choice. Even when I'm going with image to video, WAN 2.5 will still work in some cases.
Students can use this
Yes,
for sure.
yes.
Yeah.
As of now, it is closed source, so they will have to invest money.
They don't have money.
Then
Students don't have money.
Go
It's a
with
fact.
the WAN 2.2.
Okay.
So as you said, WAN 2.5 is a version of WAN 2.2 on steroids.
Right.
So go with that. That is
Okay.
not a problem.
Right.
But if you are looking at videos, if you are looking at say proper
Polished.
cinematography,
Okay.
where lip sync and all matters, WAN 2.5 is really doing wonders. Okay. So that thing, you can pick it up from that angle that I need that sort of video. Go with that.
Fairly clear. Debunked number 2.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yes.
The lip sync isn't foolproof.
This is
you had
this
just
is the
mentioned
point.
lip
Yes.
sync.
Yes.
The demo reels are stunning. I would like for you to showcase this with an example. Perfectly timed whispers and multi-language sync, as I had mentioned earlier. But in practice, viewers report edge case wobbles.
Yeah. This is common.
That was my description of a wobble. Fast speech, heavy background noise, overlapping. What is right?
Now
You've been going on about lip sync.
Look at this. Look at this video. Just see for.
Just look out for the voice,
Look
ladies
here.
and gentlemen.
Look
Don't go
at
with
the video. Look at the video.
We say it loud, we say it proud. Cypher 2025.
What is happening?
Hey, lip sync is not that great. That's what my producer ended up saying.
Yes.
I think my producer is on steroids. The lip sync is completely off.
Yes. So this is what I'm saying, that when you're putting your image and the video reference, if you don't have a lot of video quality and the quantity,
Okay.
if you're putting just a
the
5-second
quantity,
video,
fair enough.
you don't have much data to play with.
Around with. Okay.
So that sort of capability is still lacking. But there is no point, there is no problem in this.
Okay.
It's gonna evolve.
Here's a question. If we, let's say, give a script. Now,
Yes.
this is a clip of my audio that you used to lip sync it with another
Yes.
video, image, etc.
Yes.
Let's say we remove that, but we give a script. Will the lip sync be better?
Yes.
Okay.
So see, here we gave one reference image of Elon Musk and your cipher video,
Got it.
the reel. So that image was superimposed on that
this.
particular video. And in place of you, Elon Musk came. But in your cipher reel, was this the background?
No.
So his image, complete
It was a
image
much
of Elon,
better background.
Yeah. So his complete image with the background.
He's ruined the video. No, as in the image of Elon
The
Musk. Not
complete
Elon Musk.
background came
You're
into
good.
play. So this sort of problem is there when you're superimposing, when you're trying to go with image to video. But if you go with
Script.
a text,
Correct.
script to video, this problem.
So for
will
a
not-
student, for example, making a video, it would always be a better idea to
Text
actually
to
have a
video.
script ready
Yes.
and do that and then
Yes.
go ahead with it. So better
Which-
lip
which-
sync there.
And you will find a lot of Instagram reels. You'll find a lot of
Where they're
Twitter
using
videos
this.
where they are now putting these sort of things.
Actually, it is a brilliantly fun tool. Actually, if you start to experiment with it, play around with it, you can take a lot of situations and
Correct.
genuinely
Correct.
rehash them, figure things out, reimagine them, and do
you
stuff.
can make a proper comedy channel out of it.
Nice.
So anything comedy, you can put, say, any famous person like Graham Norton, Mr.
Right,
Narendra
right.
Modi, Vladimir Putin is talking about Donald Trump or something like that.
Got it.
A lot of things you can do.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Debunk number 3. Well, that is the competition actually strikes back.
Yeah.
Now, if we were to figure this out, I wanted to ask you VEO3, as we mentioned, still
Yes.
the king of cinematic physics and
Correct.
integrated ambient sound.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Sora is OpenAI's secretive video model. You, of course.
Not everybody knows about it.
Well,
Yes.
Yeah, since it's a secret. When it opens, expect deeper ecosystem hooks. Okay. Runway, which is
Yeah.
Gen 3, right? Generation 3, polished text to video, but no native audio sync. Nano Banana.
Yeah.
We have done it. We've deep dove into it. It was a lot of fun,
But it lacks
but it lacks.
audio video.
Now, if you were to, I've given you the entire context. How is it that you were to go ahead and put WAN 2.4, which actually out innovates
2.5.
on 2.5 and audio video fusion? But
See-
VEO still wins on sheer film grade polish.
that
Over
is
to you.
what I was coming on. See, this all started from Runway in the very beginning. Then OpenAI released Sora last year, and it's closed source.
Sure.
So unless you are on a paid membership,
You
of
cannot access a
OpenAI,
lot
you
of
cannot
stuff.
access Sora, and you cannot create videos.
Fair enough.
Now, that is one very big drawback. Very big drawback. Second thing, see, Runway, when you talk about, it's good. It started off good. It is having good models. And one thing I would tell you, for example, WAN 2.5 is closed source. But if you talk about WAN 2.2, you can run it on your system by downloading the models, or you can go online like I showed you. It is still hosted on Runway. So Runway is very good on that aspect. Now, when we talk about other competitors, like one of the most important and frightening, VO.
Sure.
See, WAN 2.5 has still got some very good weapons in its arsenal. For what I would say is, if you talk about Nano Banana is not taking any audio or video in that
It
aspect.
isn't, right.
Here it is audio
Going head
video.
to head.
Yes. So in a term, it's not having any competition with Nano Banana.
Got it.
But its main competition is with
VO3, correct. And till now, you feel that it has enough for it to start to make people sweat as yet, or no?
Yeah, see, little bit. I would not go very high on this that yes, they have got a very huge competition.
So is it David Goliath?
As of now?
As of right now.
Because it is closed source.
Okay.
That is the fundamental problem.
Fair enough. Understood. Of course, finally, we have to talk about debunk number 4, which is the one-click Hollywood scenario.
Yeah.
Native audio, we've mentioned it time and again. There is a complexity.
Yes.
So how would you want to go ahead and debunk that?
So the most important thing is when you're working with these tools, prompt is something very important. What sort of infrastructure you are having at hand. So see, you're not making the model. For instance, you're not training the model. So you're using somebody else, a research team, somebody else has created the model and you're using it.
Got it.
So when you are creating videos, for example, text to video or even image to video, you have to be very careful about the prompts. You have to be very careful about the audio that you're using for video creation. Otherwise, that sort of background effects, that noise
creates the problem.
Noise will be the main
Before
issue.
Sachin, I give the final verdict because we are closing in terms of the end of the show. I want to understand a very important point. I want to understand from you. It is fun. It's a lot of great.
Yes.
It goes ahead, unravels your creativity as an individual. You can really play around with it. You can do a lot of stuff.
Correct.
But as always, with great power comes great responsibility.
Okay.
Correct.
All
So
right.
what is your take on that? Because there have been lots of incidents. I don't want to get into any particular specific incidents, but your take in terms of making sure that the tools are used, they're used genuinely to explore and create some magic, but also the other aspect of it.
This sort of problem is there, and it is there since last 2.5 years. It
Sure.
was earlier also.
I'm just touching upon it because
Ethical usage is something very
important.
And even if you are taking open source models into consideration and you are building on it,
Sure.
you are using it, there has to be some sort of safety, there has to be some sort of guardrail.
Got it.
These all things have to be there.
Fair enough.
Now, if you talk about VO, if you talk about Sora, these safety guardrails are very much in place.
Fair.
Okay. But if you talk about WAN 2.2 open source, I would say it's still a bit lagging.
Still okay.
WAN 2.5,
They might be
we
actually
might-
incorporating.
they might
those things.
incorporate it, but then what happens is when you put too much regulations,
Then
your product will not gain a lot of
fly the way
popularity.
it is supposed to.
So it all boils down to individual understanding
Correct.
as to whether it is good or bad.
Fair.
So you all my friends have to
No, I agree. I
really
fully agree with
understand
you.
it,
Absolutely.
whether you need to go in that direction or not.
Let's not cross the line. Finally,
Yes.
I guess that's what Sachin is trying to say. Go out there, create your magic, genuinely go out there and push your limit as far as creativity is concerned. And the tools are out there for you to have a lot of fun and maybe, I don't know, in the times to come, create an Oscar winner. And this is our final verdict on Debunked. WAN 2.5, is a breakthrough, yes. The first major model to fuse audio and video generation natively and undercut the big players
Yes.
on cost.
Correct.
But pricing headlines head the production work. Lip sync is excellent, not infallible. Cinematic realism still belongs to, well, clearly, as Sachin has also said, to VEO's top tier pipelines. For ASMR artists, educators, or anyone who wants their own voice to drive the visuals, WAN 2.5 is a revelation. For those chasing flawless Hollywood spectacle in one click, well,
Acha, what is the full form of ASMR?
I'm coming to that. Debunked. This is debunked by AIM Network. Of course, we'll be back with lots more excitement and Sachin going ahead and turning into a weird teacher every time.
Yes, he's not answering the question.
I will
Thank
be
you so
coming back
much.
to that. Right now, we'll be taking a little break and just kidding. We'll be back with Debunked again. And of course, keep watching AIM Network, because when we think AI, we think ASMR. We also think ML. We think
AIM.
LLMs. And we also think AIM.
Still not told the full form of
तो तुम क्या
ASMR.
बोल रहे थे मुझे? Yes.